Hey guys, I know I haven't been on for a while. I've had some health issues, but I'm coming back up to speed. So one of the other reasons why I really haven't been on is a bit of severe depression about all the bullshit that's been going on lately, especially over the past couple of weeks. I was watching TV last night after I had gone through Twitter for a while, and came across the Don Lemon show where they happened to get on Kanye West about his ignorant remarks regarding slavery being a choice that black people made. Obviously, that's an ignorant statement. And then I was talking to someone who knew a little bit more about Kanye West than I did, and I have to admit and acknowledge that I don't follow this guy, have never followed this guy, and have no plans on following this guy. But for those of you who don't know it, Kanye West was a special needs child. And apparently, he received enough of an education and help so that he became socially functional. Now, for those of you who are unaware of it, there are quite a few special needs people out there in our society, and they are functional, totally functional, and in some cases, extremely functional. Kanye West is one of these people. It appears that in deference to other areas of his life, his mental growth, his music has been one of the things that he has been able to excel at in deference to other areas. So yeah, a lot of people, me not being one of them, follow his music, like his music, etc. And that basically gives him a platform. But as far as his comments about slavery being a choice, that has got to be one of the most ignorant statements that I've ever heard. And you can Google that TMZ interview he did, and the section where the black gentleman basically went up all over him, and it's on YouTube. You can find it if you care to. That guy read him the riot act, and at the very end, and a portion that you probably won't see, Kanye West went up to the guy and said that he was sorry that he had hurt the guy and wanted to hug the guy, and the guy told him that he could basically keep his hugs to himself. Okay? But folks, just recently, there have been more things that I've seen. Now, Texas is Texas, okay? Just like New York, New Jersey, California, etc. They have their own special or idiosyncrasies. But I gotta tell you, Texas is something else. Now, recently, there have been quite a few issues with restaurants discriminating against black people. Now, I just saw a story this morning, and I forget what medium it was on, but the story had to do with a black couple who went into a restaurant, sat down, well dressed now, okay, nothing at all wrong, and because a white man came in and wanted to sit at their booth, the restaurant manager told them that they had to change tables. Well, obviously they didn't want to, and they said, they asked them why and said they didn't want to change. Well, the restaurant manager became belligerent and told them that they had to move, that he did not like them, and that he was going to call the police. Well, discretion being the better part of valor in this particular case, the couple got up and left the restaurant just as the police were pulling up. And God only knows what would have happened if the police had sided with the restaurant manager. Now, this restaurant is part of a chain, and honestly, I don't even remember the name of the chain. But they issued a statement of, which all these restaurant chains issue. You had Denny's, you had, I don't think it was Applebee's, Chili's, and this particular restaurant that said, oh, that's not who we are, and we don't foster discrimination against anyone, blah, 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 blah. But somehow, the store managers and the franchise owners aren't getting these messages. Now, that's just one example that I saw within the last day or so. I point you to another example, this one in New Jersey. A successful white football coach / history teacher was dismissed from his school, and he's fighting it, obviously. But he was dismissed because he was recruiting too many black football players to the school. That's it. He was not having a problem as far as his history classes and teaching his classes were concerned. The guy had only lost 2 games in 4 years, but he had to go because there were too many blacks on his football team. And the school management administration had warned him previously about recruiting black football players. They wanted a white football team. Well, you tell me, folks, is that discrimination? Because this was a Catholic high school. And we know that, being a Christian, you're supposed to be blind to people's color, their socioeconomic condition. The only thing you worry about is, do they qualify to be admitted to your school? And I do mean all, of the players that this man had recruited were all top students in their middle schools. So obviously, their intelligence wasn't an issue. They had to pay in order to go to the school, so economics apparently wasn't an issue. So folks, you tell me, racism is alive and going strong in America. When you can have Mike Pence at a speech acknowledge Joe Arpaio, who is a convicted felon, who is a racist, a misogynist, a terrorist, a torturer, get a shout out from Mike Pence, who's the Vice President of the United States. Folks, that tells you pretty much all you need to know. But if you need a little extra, Mike Pence, when he was governor of New Jersey, had a case brought before him for leniency to have a sentence basically commuted. The person was black. It was a black male. The district attorney had gone in, done his investigation, found that this man had been convicted on trumped up evidence by the previous DA and the police department, went to the governor to get this man's record completely expunged, okay? Clemency. And Mike Pence turned around and said he wasn't going to do it, that the DA had to go through the court system in order to get the man's record cleared. But Mike Pence is a Christian. All he had to do was sign the order and it would have been over and done. It was cut and dry. Mike Pence didn't even say that the DA was wrong. He just said he wasn't going to do it. But that's a Christian for you, folks. These white evangelicals, holier than thou, that run up Donald Trump's ass, sticking tongues in and slurping, are an affront to not only we as Americans, but we as being human beings. There is no love of God in these people. They are about themselves. They don't give a damn about anybody else. I point you to the recent tax cut that was given to the 1%, including mega corporations, multinational corporations. And now finally, the Republicans are themselves having to acknowledge that that tax cut is not going to help your everyday guy or your poor person. It's only going to help, or did help, those people of means by giving them more means while mortgaging the future of our children and our grandchildren. Folks, I know I've gone all over the place on this video, and I guess I need to get myself together to get more focused on single subjects. But these are just a few of my thoughts as to what's been going on for the past week. But let me close by saying this. The racist in chief, Donald Trump, had a bunch of people that were on that Southwest flight that the female pilot landed successfully, with only the one lady dying, and she was basically dead because of being sucked out, partially sucked out of that window and being, I believe, struck by a piece of the debris from the exploded engine. Donald Trump had a whole bunch of them over. But the black hero that basically stopped the white supremacists from killing more than the 4 black people that he killed, Donald Trump has neither tweeted nor said anything, nor made contact with this gentleman. And Sarah Huckabee can lie all she wants about the White House supposedly having reached out to this man, but in checking with this gentleman, that is just a straight out lie. So folks, I can't wait for the 2018 elections to get here. And as I stated before, elections have consequences. And if you want stuff to change, if you want things to change for the better, I encourage you to get out there and at the minimum vote, and if possible, to support a candidate that basically supports your ideas of equal justice under the law, fairness as far as the socioeconomic system is concerned, and just straight out doing the right thing. I'm going to end it here. I'm going to be back on a lot more than I was in the past month and a half, and I look forward to your comments.